Now that we know the parts of an inch, we're going to take this confusing string of fractions and turn it into a fun game that'll do the memorizing for us. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, pause here, go watch that video first, and then come back. Alright? If you're all caught up, let's get into it.
Here's the game that we're going to play. Our interface is the 1 inch, and our goal is to count up from 0 all the way to 1 inch, starting with the smallest possible units. All right. And then as we add units into the interface and into the play space, we're going to group them into larger units to help them make it easier for us to see. Because as you could see earlier, trying to drag out 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16 over and over again can get cumbersome and it can get cumbersome and boring. So what we're going to do is we can start by counting in 1/16 because that's the smallest unit, right? Now we need to continue counting up to 2/16. After we count up to 2/16, whenever we see units in a bottom row parallel to a lineup and are able to fully fill in a row on top or a cell on top, we're going to clear them and carry in a cell that can fit on the top. So we can see here that 2/16 can fit into the exact same space as 1/8. So 2/16 is the same as 1/8. All right. So let's try that again. We're going to carry in 1/16, 2/16. Now we're going to bring in 1/8. Those 2/16 are going to group together, disappear, clear, and we're going to carry in a 1/8. All right. So now that we have this 1/8 in place, we can actually keep on counting up. We can come here to 3/16 now, right? We can see where this mark is. It's 1, 2, 3. It's on the third space of the bottom row, right? But we can also now see that inside of 3/16 is 1/8 and 1/16. So the key to this string of numbers making sense is not memorizing it, but having a conceptual understanding of what each marking represents. All right. So let's keep on counting up. Now we can bring in a 4/16. And again, now that we have 2/16 right here, those can merge and clear, carry in another 1/8, right? But now here too, these two eighths also line up with the 1/4 square right here. You see how this line lines up against their edge right here? That's telling us that we can transition and group them by clearing these two and grouping them. So now that we have 1/4, we can continue counting on to 5/16, 6/16. These 2/16 can now clear into a 1/8. So now what we're left with, if we look at where the lines are broken down, we can see that we're this far into our row. So we can see that we have 1/4 and 1/8. Now, in order to simplify this, instead of saying 1/4 and 1/8, we can simplify it by saying 3/8 because there are 2/8 inside of a quarter. So we say 1, 2, 3/8. Now we can keep on counting. Now we're at 7/16, right? We could also say that we have 1/4, 1/8, and 1/16. But again, it's a lot easier and simpler to say 7/16 because we can count forward on our bottom row in the 16th place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that includes all of the 16ths inside of these other units because there are 2/16 inside of this 1/8, and there are 4/16 inside of this 1/4. All right. So everything still lines up perfectly. All right. So let's keep on counting. Now we can drag in our 8/16, and then these 16ths will clear, carry in another 1/8. Then these 2/8 will clear and carry into a 1/4. And these 1/4 now will clear and carry in a 1/2. All right. So now 1/2, we're going to continue counting. We're at 9/16, 10/16, clear, carry. Now we're at 5/8, 1, 2, there's 1/1/8 right here, and then 4/8. If we drag it down here, we can see the 4/8 inside of this 1/2. Now we are at, so that was 10/16. Now we're at 11/16, 12/16, clear, carry, clear, carry. And now we are at 3/4. Again, this 1/2 has 1, 2 quarters inside of it. So now we're at 3/4, just 1/16. So above 3/4 is 13/16, 14/16. So we're going to clear these and carry in an 1/8. And then we can drag down these blocks right here so that we can count out how many 8s we have. We have 4/8 inside of 1/2, 2 inside of 1/4, and 1/8 by itself. So that's a total of 7/8. All right. So now we have 7/8. 7/8 plus 1/16 is 15/16. If we were to drag all these blocks down here, we could count it out and count out 15/16. And then lastly, we have our 16/16, which totally completes our inch. And we're not quite done yet because we still have to clear the 16ths and carry in an 1/8, clear the 8ths and carry in a 1/4, clear the 1/4s, carry in a 1/2. And now because we have 2 halves, we can clear them both and carry in a whole inch. And that is how we would go from 0 all the way counting up to 1 inch using fractions and notations.
All right, that's all for today's lesson. You can play with the American Math Easy Inch game right now, link in the pinned comment. And if this video was helpful for you, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know what you liked about it. If there's some other lesson you'd like us to cover in the future, please also leave that in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.